What up everyone, it's your man XMan87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends wishlist video, and what I have for you today is my top 10 Marvel Legends superheroes wishlist that I want to see revealed at Pulsecon 2023. Before I get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's go! So I did my villains wish list, and now welcome to the superhero edition of it. Only top 10 and not 15, as there are way more villains that I wanted to see more than heroes. I even missed Steel Serpent and Airwalker in my villains list. Too late now to add them, but I still want them. Yeah, this heroes one was tricky and not as easy as the villains. Again, same rules apply as the last time, with no X-Men or Spider-Man related characters, since I've done wish lists for those. I never want it to be repetitive. There's only so many wish lists I can do. Just keeping the theme Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Fantastic Four, etc. I found this to be a very cosmic heavy themed list. Also again, sticking with my rule of never before made or revealed comic characters for the 6-inch Marvel Legends line, not including spin-off lines like Hulk, Spider-Man, or X-Men Classics, nor characters made before that need updates. I already made that list too. No movies or other mediums, strictly comics only. Remember, this is just my personal wish list of who I like to see. This may not be for you, as I love to dive into Marvel's deep cut characters. Again, just my personal wish list, making this just for fun and engagement. So, without further ado, let's start off with the honorary mention. My honorary mention goes to STARFOX. Well, if you saw my villains wish list, you can probably tell the Infinity Gauntlet pattern I was putting up together. This would be my callback to that 2014 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Infinity Gauntlet multi-pack from the 3 3/4 inch line. I think I still have that pack somewhere. That was a cool set. STARFOX is needed for me to round out one of those key characters. I think Vulcan Body would be the best fit for this Eternal. Kicking things off at the number 10 spot, COLLEEN Wing. I've been wanting her for the longest time. A Larry Hama creation, one half of the Daughters of the Dragon, so it would be cool to get her in the next Marvel Knights wave, surrounded by characters like Werewolf by Night, updated Iron Fist to go with Luke Cage, and the other half of the Daughters of the Dragon, Misty Knight, who desperately needs an update. I felt like that Target exclusive White Widow figure was her in a weird secretive way. All you had to do was remove the belt and give her a sword, as that Widow looked more like COLLEEN than anything. But now it's best to put her on that superposable body with the double diaphragm and butterfly joints. A cool slashing effect to go with her katana would be sweet for some hack and slash photos. Number 9, PHYLA-VELL. The daughter of Mar-Vell is needed in my collection and bolster the Kree race in my cosmic shelf. Don't know which version I want. I like her classic look with the Hala star. I like her Quasar version a lot. But I'm really loving her modern look from the variant that replaced her after her death. I believe this is the one. The design is so badass, so I'm going to go with this one as my top choice, but I'll take either one of them. This will help build a more modern GLTG team with Cosmic Ghost Rider and the recent Beta Ray build we got from the Endgame wave. I doubt they'll complete that team anytime soon, but at least for now we can pair her up with her wife Moondragon. If they do the modern one, they'll maybe do her skin translucent with the speckles of paint like they did with the Singularity and Genis Vell figures. Paint presentation needs to be top notch for her, and she can make for one of the top best female figures in the line. Number 8, STATURE. Since we got her MCU figure, which is one of their best figures this year, we now need a comic version. Not the first time getting Cassie Lang, but that was under her Stinger character persona in a 2-pack with Scott Lang's Ant-Man, but now I'd like to have her as a different character in her STATURE persona. Hasbro can make history by introducing the first ever all-female BAF wave in the Marvel Legends line, and I can see STATURE headlining the wave as a BAF in an A-Force wave. I can see an all-female wave being successful for the line. I look at Valaverse and seeing what Bobby Vala did with his all-female wave for Action Force. It was a big hit, and those are newly created characters. If they put some key female characters in the wave that people know from the Women of Marvel, then I can see it move. Even if they didn't, I think it'll still move, because if you look at the 2017 Toys R Us exclusive A-Force box set, you didn't have a lot of heavy hitters. Only She-Hulk and Sif were the big two, and that set goes for about $200 now on the aftermarket. I don't ever remember it hitting clearance. Maybe it did and I don't remember, but at one point it went for more than $200 after all the Toys R Us closed down. To play it safe, the character selection needs to be strong, and Stature can be a tall Build-A-Figure like her MCU standing at 10 inches. Or they can do away with an all-female wave and make her a supersized deluxe like Super Adaptoid and Surtur, making her over 13 inches or so. Doing it as a Build-A-Figure in a first ever Marvel Legends female wave would make it feel more special though. I suspect that we will get characters revealed at Pulsecon related to Giant Man in order to push more HasLab sales at Pulsecon. Therefore, I wouldn't be surprised to see Stature and expand upon the Ant-Man family. Number 7, Bug. Such a classic character that goes back to those days of the Micronauts. I don't think we'll get that full classic look of his complete insectoid look, because I don't see Hasbro wanting to invest in that much tooling, but I guess either way he has to be all new tooling since he has a unique insectoid physique. I have a feeling we'll get Bug in his Guardians of the Galaxy uniform, and you know what? I'm all for that. I actually want that one more because I love team building and I love the blue and red uniforms. As long as he's extremely posable and equipped with his rocket lance, he's going to be one of the best Legends figures to pose. Number 6, Mantis. I'm torn as to which version I want from the Celestial Madonna. Do I want her in her classic look with the green and yellow dress, bare legs and bare feet? If so, do I want her in her green skin tone or non-green skin tone? Or do I want her in the matching GOTG blue and red uniforms to go with Bug if they do Bug in that uniform, which will go nicely with Star-Lord? The worst thing about being a GOTG fan, and by the way, GOTG stands for Guardians of the Galaxy. The worst thing about being a GOTG fan collecting Marvel Legends is the inconsistency with Hasbro never making the right uniforms for the Guardians teams. They're always all over the place and never matching most of the time. So I'm just going to stick with the classic Mantis for now. But like I said before, they need to fix the bare feet on the females and give it a better sculpt. They are hideous. Anyways, 2 MCU Mantis figures already and not one single comic figure. It's time for her comic version to be made already. Number 5, Uatu the Watcher. We got his MCU Disney Plus version as a Build-A-Figure, but more importantly, you know we need the comic version more. Many collectors have used the Marvel Select one as a stand-in for their Legends display. I also did the same at one point, but that one didn't pose for shit. I want an action figure, not a damn statue. Even if the character is not known for being agile, I still want what is offered for every other figure in the line. You don't want to pay for something that has no articulation for a fully articulated line. Being that the MCU one had articulation, I want the same to be applied on a comic one. That also had its limitations with a really long blue dress, but a comic one will have a shorter skirt, so you should be able to move the legs more freely and execute a better standing pose. I can see the Watcher being a Bath. Also, the Watchers are an army builder, so it'll be interesting to see how many people army build him, if he's a Bath or not. Uatu is one of the most important cosmic characters ever and a must in my cosmic shelf. Number 4, the Warriors 3, one of the most highly demanded stables in Marvel Legends. This stable of 3 are one of the reasons why an all-comic Thor wave would kick ass. They can literally knock all these 3 at once if they want a hot-selling wave. Hogan the Grim and Fandral the Dashing as your regulars in the wave with bath pieces. Then the Lion of Asgard himself, Volstagg, can be the Bath. They can probably add some parts to that Blob Deluxe figure and turn it into a Volstagg, such as adding an overlay on his torso, then maybe a combination of new parts and retooling some parts so it's cost effective on their end to make one. But yeah, let me know if a blob body base would work for this. Now I see why we don't have an all-comic Thor wave yet, as every Asgardian would most likely need new tooling because of their highly detailed character designs, and which would require all new sculpts, and they'll only do that for MCU waves and not comic. Am I right? If we can get a comic wave with all new sculpts, then we would be in for a treat with an all-comic Thor wave. They have the bath options, and it would be a guaranteed banger. Number 3, Crystal. The Inhumans royal family needs to be completed imminently. Right now, Crystal stands as my most wanted female character in the line next to Deathbird, who is my most wanted. She's not hard to make for them. She has such a simple design, but yet a beautiful costume design, thanks to the King Jack Kirby. The trickiest part, and maybe the most difficult part to capture of the character, is her patterned hair design, as they need to get that painted with precision if they don't plan to sculpt the pattern separately. Which is why I think their print technology will come in handy the most here to make it look solid. Speaking of her head sculpt, one thing that will be beneficially enjoyable about Crystal is being able to swap her head onto a Sue Storm body so you can have a Crystal in her Fantastic Four uniform. A nice homage to the comics if you love to celebrate Marvel lore with your figures. She needs to have some cool elemental powers for accessories. None of that flaming twirling shit you see them use constantly, because I know they would give us that in an orange and blue color. Nah, none of that. She needs to come with a large flame, water, ice effects, and all that. They need to be creative with the accessories. If they do that, then we'll have an awesome display for Crystal. I think it's best to offer her in a 2-pack deluxe set with her pet Lockjaw. Number 2, Hector AYALA, aka White Tiger. The OG White Tiger is one I needed like yesterday. Sure, I know you must be thinking, well, he's just going to be on that lame Hatsut Zeraze body. And yeah, that wasn't the greatest, but it's not about that for me. It's about what the character means to me. Being proud of my culture as a Puerto Rican, White Tiger was the first ever Puerto Rican superhero, the first ever Hispanic superhero altogether. So it's a really big deal to me, more than you ever know. The character was created by the GOAT, George Perez, who is a Puerto Rican from the Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx. Love my memories there at Yankee Stadium. And he did something very special there at that time, and what Black Panther is to his people, White Tiger is for mine. So it's the representation here that matters for me, because the character resonates with me and the culture I grew up in. I know there's Miles Morales. Like him, I'm a Puerto Rican who was born and raised in the hood, but unfortunately, you have some ignorant ass people who just say ignorant ass shit like, oh, he's not Puerto Rican, he's black, or he's only half, so he doesn't count as Puerto Rican. It's just so ignorant, because you can't discredit or take away someone's ethnicity because they are half. You can't take someone's genes away, man. I swear some people have the IQ of a fucking pencil, because he's as much Puerto Rican as he is black, and vice versa. The Insomniac games do a better job than the movies representing the Puerto Rican culture more. I think a White Tiger MCU movie or show would do a great job at that, and I'm all for it, as I'm all for the culture. They did release his sister, Ava AYALA, as White Tiger back in the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave, but she doesn't have an unmasked head, and that would have been nice to show some representation there. So hopefully they can give Hector an unmasked head, and maybe a 2-pack to give us a new updated Ava AYALA, and this time give us an unmasked head to go with her. Or a 2-pack with Angela Del Toro White Tiger. I wouldn't mind seeing Angela Del Toro White Tiger either, as I think her design is amazing, and on the new female superposable body would be lovely, but I just want Hector AYALA first. I think they'll put him on the Vulcan body, same as Black Panther, or maybe the Renew Your Vows body. Hopefully the Jade Tiger amulet is painted in a metallic green. Give him all the hands like Shang-Chi, since he's a martial artist. Knowing Hasbro, I don't expect much with paint, as they'll leave it on just a white blank body like Moon Knight. But some gray shading would be a neat touch. That's just how I would build my perfect White Tiger figure in a perfect world. So if it's him or Angela Del Toro, I'm cool with it, as I'll collect any and all Puerto Rican characters made for the culture. Fun fact, I share the same birthday as George Perez, June 9th, except I was born in 87 and he was 54. One of my biggest and top comic book artist inspirations. May he rest in peace. Coming in at the number 1 spot is Lockjaw, the one figure I want revealed more than anything year after year, and still nothing. If there's anything I love more than action figures, it's dogs. So having a huge, cute, and chunky bulldog as an action figure, I would feel complete, as I'm a big softie for dogs. Now, there will be people who say it won't top the Mezco version, and maybe I think they won't detail-wise. That's not the point here. The point is to finally have him in the Marvel Legends line, as he's been up there as one of the most demanded. One who's always getting voted at the top in the Fuchs's top 10 Legends poll yearly, so it goes to show that people will buy him. Look, the Mezco one is superb. The fur sculpted details, the paws, the light up features, beautiful. And it's a beautiful stand-in as I have him on my cosmic shelf with my Inhumans. But the articulation and the heavy weight holds it back for a replay value. That's where Legends will have the advantage, as they can make him really light and really poseable, because for a big ass chunky dog, he can sure move and get into some crazy funny poses in the comics when he's not being lazy, wanting to lay down all day. And that would be a lot of fun to get him into those kind of poses. Also, pricing will be less than the Mezco, as that's going for quite a hefty price on the aftermarket now. This will make it easier for collectors to get an affordable one. I definitely can see light up features for him. I mean, that's so important for the character to have, as he lights up his eyes and antenna when using his teleporting powers. I think he should have multiple interchangeable heads or faceplates, having some default heads with different expressions like happy, sad, or his eyes closed for a sleeping face. And the alternate head can be a light up one. Articulated jaw is a must, and maybe interchangeable pre-posed tongues to have some sticking out, maybe a drooling effect, a licking tongue, whatever you can name. Asking for a lot here, but hey, that's why it's a wish list. If he doesn't have a light up feature, then maybe a Kirby Crackle effect to put on his antenna that has an alternate head with powered up eyes. We'll see. Like I said with Crystal, I can see them as a deluxe 2-pack together. Most likely a closed box where you'd have to assemble Lockjaw as if he were a Build-A-Figure. Something they can do if they are bringing back the vehicles line. After all, Lockjaw is technically a vehicle, as he's used for fast travel through his teleportation. Overall, the Inhumans Royal Family is the team they need to complete the most right now, as we still need Maximus, Gorgon, and Triton. So hopefully Crystal and Lockjaw will help pick up the pace for us to get them quicker. To me, Crystal and Lockjaw would be the biggest W for them if revealed at Pulsecon 2023. Now I kick it back to you. What are your top 10 Marvel Legends superheroes you'd like to see revealed at Pulsecon 2023? How many did I mention here that are on your wish list? I know most people never follow my rule of just naming never before made Marvel Legends figures and just only naming characters that were already done before to get updates of, but y'all do whatever y'all want in the comments. That's just a rule I set for myself when making these wish list videos, but I challenge you to do it like me. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thank you for watching another wishlist video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.